I'm often invited to talk to young people, and you talk to them about what's worrying them, and climate is something which is really of concern. And it is hard, but it's something I think we all have to accept. It's us older people who are dumping this giant mess on these younger people. And it's great to think about yourself and ponder, what it's going to cost you, but think about what it's going to cost your kids to deal with this if we don't deal with it. And so to me, this is really, really important. We need to think generations ahead instead of just in the moment of our time. Our Greenfest celebration is wonderful, and I'm really glad everybody came out despite the threat of rain. You all showed up here, and that's a really good thing to do. There are some really good exhibits here. There's a lot of things we're talking about what you can do inside your own house. I've taken the position since I'm county executive that I need to do the things I tell other people to do myself. It's hard to say you need to be an example and then not do it. So I've got solar panels on my roof. I have appliances that were 6 years old. I pulled out my water heater and put in an electric water heater. I took out my relatively new gas stove and put in an electric induction stove. And now I'm trying to figure out how to replace my boiler for my hot water heat. And when I can find a heat pump that does what I wanted to do, I'm going to replace that too. Not because I'm going to save any money doing that, but because if I can't do it, then I can't expect everybody else to do it. I drive electric. My solar panels are alive and well on my roof. So all this stuff are things that actually make a difference. The other thing I want to talk about that makes a difference, I am not carrying this trash bag because I'm picking stuff up around here, and it's not a fashion accessory. What we're trying to show people is that if you fully recycle, you don't need more than this much trash in a week. If you're putting your cardboard and paper out, if you're putting your bottles, cans, plastic, everything that's recyclable, and the scheme of what's recyclable in plastic is ever expanding. There are places in Montgomery County that will now collect plastic films. What I was saying up until a couple months ago, the only thing left in my trash can was plastic films. And now the only thing left in my trash can is plastic films that have been stuck with paper or cardboard where they're contaminated and it doesn't have much use. But I don't fill more than this, and there are 3 people in my household, and it still don't fill more than this. So if you're composting and doing everything else you can do, you can get to here. And the big thing about getting to here, we run waste disposal in Montgomery County. The less that we have to dump and we have to take landfill someplace, is the less we have to pay for to move. So everything you do to reduce things helps reduce the cost of the county's waste disposal. So it's important that you can serve the county, you can serve. And what we're working on is finding a buyer for everything we separate out of the plastics, out of the waste stream. There's buyers even now for plastic film. All of our plastic and bottles have buyers. All our metal has buyers. There are buyers for things we haven't separated out yet, and that's the stage where we are now. How much can we separate out and how much can we sell? That brings money into the county and it reduces the cost of what we do. And it also, this is also good, and it's also good for the environment. So there are a lot of things you can do. It's really important that all of us ask. We've got these great climate goals. We want it to be, 0 emissions by 2035, no greenhouse gases. The county government won't get there unless you do your part. And if everybody wants us to embrace the goals, that means you got to embrace the goals yourself. If you don't change the way you do things, we're going to change all our buildings. We'll have all electric buses and all electric vehicles and hydrogen-powered machinery and stuff like that. But if we're the only ones that do this, we're still not going to reach our climate goals. So we still depend on you to do your part to get us where we need to go. Thank you for being here, and I'll turn this back to John.